how's it going? So a few years back, I did a top 5 list of my favorite free VSTs that are actually useful for metal production. Well, here we are almost 4 years later, and I thought it would be really great to add to that list. Practical stuff you can use in your day-to-day to get a mix like this. Using nothing but plugins that can be found online for absolutely free. Number 10, LoudMax 64 by Thomas Mund. You see mastering limiters pretty much everywhere, and this one is just plain great. It's got 2 sliders and a link button. That is it. Turns up your signal and brick walls it to keep it from getting out of control. It's simple, sounds great, and you guys have been hearing it for years because it's what I use on every single monologue I've ever done on this show. It's also great on full mixes. Barely even mentioned bass guitar in the video, yet these guys had a thread 8 pages deep complaining about it. Oh no, I've got the bass players mad at me. Run for the hills. I mean, check this out. Let me read the comment for you guys and you'll see what I mean. Number 9, Kotelnikov by Tokyo Dawn Labs. Bus compressors are pretty much the sound of modern rock, and all I have to say about this one is, wow! I spent pretty much an entire day on a mix, but I wasn't quite satisfied until I tried the Kotelnikov. Holy Xenu, is this thing ever great! The interface is simple, the sound is smooth, and it helped me get a difficult mix under control in no time at all. If you grab one plugin off this list, get this one, it's freaking spectacular. Number 8, TSE BOD. This one looks suspiciously a lot like the software version of the bass Sans amp by Tech 21. Sounds a lot like it too. Same bass, treble, and presence controls, and yeah, it works exceptionally well. Put this on a DI bass track and bring it to life, and even dial in some saturation as well. It is absolutely killer. Go grab yourself a copy. It'll still confuse your bass player though. Number 7, Dragonfly Reverb. This is a great sounding free reverb with some very easy to understand controls. Select a preset and build off of it. It's just that simple. It's great on drums, and thanks to the selectable early reflection blend controls, it is amazing on lead guitar for adding a sense of space and getting it to blend in a mix without making it cloudy. Number 6, Lancaster Pulse. It's one of the very few free impulse response loaders that works in Pro Tools as well as pretty much any other DAW out there. Load up a pair of virtual cabs, blend to taste, and you're good to go. It's simple, works great, and what are you waiting for? Go get it! I've even included a link for a free impulse from my premium impulse response pack featuring the Revv cabinet with a WGS Veteran 30 speaker. It'll definitely give you a different sound from the multitude of vintage 30 impulses out there. Number 5, TSE X50. Okay, this was a close one. When it comes to freeware amp sims, there are some really great options out there for metal. There's the Lapou stuff, the Ignite Emissary, and what's fast becoming a favorite, the TSE X50. It's a freeware amp that bears more than a passing resemblance to a PV5150. It's maybe a touch fatter sounding than the Emissary, which I was originally planning on using on this full mix. The X50 helped push things a little harder and sounded a little bit bigger than the Emissary. Considering that they're both free, you might as well grab them both and try for yourself. Number 4, the ReaPlug suite. This was number 1 on my original top 5 video, and for good reason. I still use many of these in my day-to-day production. The EQ with the Spectre analyzer is fantastic. I use this to hunt down nasty ringing frequencies on snare drums all the time. I used the Revv as noise reduction for my monologue on this show, and after some 700 episodes, I'd say it's definitely up to the task. The Rea delay is one of my favorites on guitar solos. I use it all the time, and the Rea gate is my absolute favorite gate ever. With its look-ahead and sidechain capability, it is nothing short of spectacular, and I don't think I've ever come across a better gate anywhere, commercial or free. If you don't have the ReaPlug suite for your plugin arsenal, you are missing out. It comes built into Reaper, but it's also available as a VST suite for integration into your DAW of choice. Number 3, SmackLab's 63X over Easy Compressor. This is fast becoming an absolute favorite around here at Spectre Sound. It seems to be based off the hardware DBX compressors. It's smooth and easy to operate. Use it on bass guitar, vocals, and even a simulated drum room to add an extra layer of explosiveness. It's got one slider to operate. Just crank it down to get your signal under control. I've got a pair of real DBX 160 XTs here in my rack, and it really does remind me of them quite a bit. Number 2, White Label 10Q. This is a beautiful freeware EQ with 10 bands at your disposal for when you really want to get surgical. There's a waveform display, switchable mode information to keep you informed of what's going on, and it's super easy to get to all of the various shelf and peak controls. I love the ReaPlug's included EQ, but this one's just a little bit more capable, and it's also got a slightly more efficient interface, allowing you to make adjustments quickly and move on. It's definitely worth checking out. Number 1, the Dead Duck channel. Clearly based around the SSL channel, it sports a gate, compressor, EQ, high pass and low pass filters, as well as an output limiter. This just narrowly beat out the SmackLab's Logic channel, which also follows the same design, but I have to go with the Dead Duck as the winner. The compressor is more tweakable with a fully adjustable attack and release control, and the pop-up information displays on the EQ are easier to work with. Oh, and there's also a soft clipper, and you can select the order of the signal chain to which to have your EQ in front of your compressor, or vice versa. Very cool. Okay, so that's my top 10 list of free plugins for 2019. Yes, you can absolutely use them to mix with. Some of these I would even put up against the best commercial plugins. Check out this mix I did with the guys from Strata Recording using nothing but the plugins I've mentioned. Links will be in the description below. Thanks for watching.